Hey everybody, Camp and Steve out here. I am trying something new tonight in the wood stove. I'm realizing that firewood out here is impossible to come by because this is prairies, farms galore, no crown land, no bush to go and gather firewood. So I've been resorting to buying it at, I don't even want to say how much I have to pay for a bundle of firewood out here. But I was at the hardware store and I saw these pellets for a wood stove. So I'm going to give it a try in here once I get a roaring fire going with normal wood and some coals. I'll start shoveling this in there and see what happens. I know it's not real firewood, but I'm going broke here trying to feed the stove with this. But I see they make them online, little trays that you can put in a conventional wood stove and burn these pellets. But I think if it's roaring good enough, it should work. And that's the plan for tonight, and we'll make up some food here. But I'd really like to save a lot of money because there's 40 pounds of pellets. That weighs as much as 3 or 4 bundles of actual softwood, firewood, spruce, pine. So hopefully that works, and cook up some food, and then we're out for another week in the tent. Okay, I got about a ton of paper in there. Paper's free, but firewood isn't. And we'll give this a go and see what happens. I like it when it sounds like a blast furnace. The bag of pellets is 100% softwood, low ash, which is good. High BTU value, I like. Not for human or animal consumption. Alright. And 40 pounds. $5. Oh, I really hope this works, but we'll give it a try, otherwise I'm going to be cooking on the hot plate tonight. It's kind of roaring. Not just coals, but still some wood in there, but I'm going to throw in some of these pellets and see what happens. There's no wax or anything in these, it's just compressed wood, so I don't see why it shouldn't burn. Be interesting, but when I close this, that'll feed the draft underneath of the pellets, and we'll check in a sec to see if they're igniting. I guess these don't normally flame, they just kind of turn into coals and burn. But I better get a bucket for this because I'm gonna make a mess if I don't. So we'll check in a bit here. Seems to be liking them. These pellets have started an inferno in here. I'm even scared to open the door, but yeah, the pellets, they're engulfed in flames. They're burning quite well. I'm just gonna keep topping it up with pellets, and I think I've saved a lot of money here. The stove is screaming hot with these pellets. Most of the wood is burned down, and it's basically just a big pile of pellets that are doing their thing. So I barely scratched the bag of pellets, and I think from now on I'm a pellet man until I need to cook a steak on them. The fire is stabilized, and I just have to show you guys this. These pellets, they just smolder and burn like coals. It's perfect. They actually provide a very even heat. Not like the ups and downs with normal logs. So I'm gonna cook on this thing and I'm gonna top it up with coals here, but I think this is the way to go in this type of stove in this situation if you don't have access to free firewood. Tonight's dinner is fish and beans, with the fish I caught today and the beans I grew today. And I picked up the stupidest can opener that exists in the world. It goes onto the top like this. Never used it. It was cheap, so I got it. It seems to work, so that's one thing down. I'll get the beans on the fire first, and shouldn't take too long because these pellets are doing a heck of a job. Good even heat. No spikes and valleys. You just load the pellets in. I'm highly impressed with this. And that's just dumping them into an existing wood stove. And the fish, can pan fry that up with a little bit of seasoning, breading on it, and we should be good. And then I can go to bed and wake up in the morning to cram for that exam. Gas fitting trade school, jeez. Anyway, this is what I've got set up right now, and hopefully it's not going to taste like crap. I've got fish batter, got my freshly caught haddock. Open this up, and we're going to get this party started here. This is an awful lot of food to eat, but it's thawing out, so I'm gonna have a feast tonight. I've never tried this stuff before, fish crisp. However, it's got rave reviews and a great story on the back of the bag of this stuff, so just powder the stuff in here and oil up the pan and get this on the go. The beans are going, and beans are beans. And I also got some dinner rolls that I can have with this too, if I am not full by the time I eat all this fish. And that seems to be the way the instructions say, is get the fish moistened, flip around in this stuff. The fish was already very moist by the time I pulled it out of the bag, where it had thawed. And next step is the pan. On pellets. The stove is running on pellets. I learned from a fire one fateful Valentine's Day that you don't add oil to a screaming hot pan. So, in goes, brand new jug of oil. In goes some oil into the cooking pan. That seems a bit outlandish, but for the 4 pieces of fish, that's about enough oil. warm this thing up. Cook our fish. And then hunker down. Okay, here we are. We got pieces of fish going into here. I am going to be full tomorrow. And I'm at a bit of a slant here, apparently. So, circulate that. I guess fish should be 3 minutes aside or something like that. Something like steak. But when it's golden brown, that's when I'm gonna get excited about eating this. So, fish, beans, pellets in the stove. A good night so far in this first 10 days camping out here. Guess I should get better at flipping. All done. Some fried fish, baked beans, and a couple of dinner rolls. And I'm gonna enjoy this, throw a lot more pellets on the stove, and hunker down for the night. I'm going to load this stove up full of pellets and we're going to see what happens in the morning. I hope this is still recording, but I need more batteries. In the meantime, pellets. And I'll charge the battery overnight. Well, considering that I really overloaded this with pellets last night, majority of them burned up, just some ash left in there, so that is the good thing to do from now on, is use these pellets, I'll say that much.